Hello and welcome to Guides.Global. My name's John Howell. I'm the editorial director. With me now is Noelia Luque, who is an advisor at Manzanares International. Manzanares International is a law firm based here on the Costa del Sol in Spain. Noelia is not only an advisor here, but she is the author of our various guides to doing business on the Costa del Sol. Noelia, welcome and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Doing business on the Costa del Sol inevitably, sooner or later, is going to produce the odd problem, in exactly the same way as doing business anywhere else is going to produce the odd problem. In your experience, when you're dealing with foreigners who are operating businesses here on the Costa del Sol, what are the main problems that they come across?
Possibly one of the main problems is that they don't take the time to do some research on the area or on the how business work in that area, or maybe they start a business without having enough experience or not knowing the local market.
Yes.
This maybe will be one of the problems. And from an administrative point of view, maybe they don't get the right advice from the beginning. So sometimes when clients come to us, they've already either signed a rental contract for premises, or they already started their paperwork with someone else.
Before they make a plan.
Yeah.
Yes. And without understanding some of the complications. I can remember I had a British client who was an electrician and who came to the Costa del Sol and started to work as an electrician, and he was going around houses without a license and wiring the houses in the same way as we would wire them in Britain, with 3-pin plugs, which is completely different from the way it's done here and totally illegal. And he was horrified when he discovered this. He just couldn't do this. So yes, it's planning, making sure that your business is going to work, and then following the local ways of doing things.
Yes.
What about language skills? Do most of your foreign clients who do business in Spain speak Spanish?
Most of them don't.
No.
And this is another difficulty, because they have a very limited number of people or of suppliers that they can really contact, they can really rely on, or they can communicate in the correct way. So this leads to misunderstandings, and it limits your...
It certainly leads to misunderstandings, but as you say, it also means that your potential number of clients is hugely reduced, and your number of suppliers is hugely reduced. So you can very often end up paying more than you should be doing for everything that you need for your business.
Exactly. Even in some cases, they focus on foreign clients, so they don't need the Spanish for the everyday business. But for other things, the handling of their administrative side of their business.
Yes, dealing with the public administration, filing your tax returns, dealing with your VAT, all of this stuff becomes difficult if you don't speak Spanish.
Yes.
So it mustn't it, a tip, if you're going to open a business here, really, you ought to do something about learning at least some basic Spanish.
Some effort, a little effort, at least some Spanish, yes.
Yes, exactly. But of course, it's so tempting here on the Costa del Sol because very large numbers of people speak English. And I find when I try to speak Spanish, very often the other person will insist on speaking in English. It's probably because my Spanish isn't very good, but also because they're trying to improve their English. So it is tempting to say, well, let's just stick with the English, but really it's much better to learn a bit of the language.
Yes, but out of our experience, clients that really get to know the language and speak properly, those are the ones that really settle and are better off with their business here.
What about paperwork? Do you find that your clients tend to do business here without contracts, without paperwork, and then get a bit surprised when it goes wrong?
Sometimes they do.
Yes.
The normal thing when we have a client is that contact us for everything. So before closing a contract or before doing something they are not 100% sure, the normal thing is that they ask for our advice. We have a short meeting or short telephone chat, and we sort it out. But in some cases, which I understand, because sometimes for doing business you have to react quickly.
Yes.
And sometimes they may go into things that end up wrong because they were not done in the proper way from a formal point of view.
And of course, if they're small pieces of business, then you can prepare for them a sort of standard contract, which they can fill in the names of the people, and at least they've got something.
Exactly, yes.
Noelia, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We hope you've enjoyed that short snippet about business problems in Spain. Do read the full guide, which contains a lot more information, and do look at our other guides about doing business in Spain. They're all available at www.guides.global, and there are links to some of them in this video. If you would like to contact Noelia or her team, you can find a link to do that as well. If you've liked the video, please like it on YouTube and follow our channel. Hope you've enjoyed it. Look forward to seeing you again. Goodbye.